Imagine yourself coming into the office one morning and being told, hey, our fabric interconnects are dead in the water. We had some electrical issue, whatever it was, took them out. We have no access to UCS Manager and no access to any of the servers that were behind UCS Manager. So fortunately, Cisco sent us 2 new fabric interconnects. They're already in the racks, and now we just need to configure them again from scratch. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. Fortunately, Cisco does give us the ability to create backups of the entire UCS domain. And we can apply those backups to the new fabric interconnects when they come if we've already configured the backups and have those stored safely somewhere. By the end of this nugget, we will be able to configure backups in such a way to protect us from future disasters. In order to configure backups in UCS Manager, we want to come down to the Admin tab, and from there, the main page, the main highlight here of all, is where we find the backup configuration. So here on the work pane, down here under Backup Configuration, we can click the button, and we can say Add right here, or Create Backup Operation, either way. So we first want to enable the admin state, and then we can select the type. And again, we just covered this in the previous nugget, the different types of backup operations that we can create. So we can create the full state, the all, system, or logical configurations. The last 3 would be the XML settings. The full state is really where we have 2 new fabric interconnects, like we painted the example in the intro, where we need to put the original configuration onto brand new fabric interconnects. So in our case, let's configure a full state backup. And from here, we can enter the host name for our FTP server. So ftp.organization.com, whatever the URL is for that. And for the remote file, it says the file must be in XML format. And so we're going to create backup.xml file. Username would just be whatever our username is to log into our FTP server. Password, of course. And say OK. Now we can confirm that this is enabled. And we can look at the details down here to see that this is in progress. Now, because this is a lab environment, unfortunately, this is going to fail. We just need to keep track of this in a production environment to make sure that the backup process happens. So we can say OK. And that's great. We've just configured a backup operation as a one-time downloading the configuration. But what if we want this to be a regular occurrence? What if we want to automatically back up once a week? Well, we can come over here to the second tab, Policy, Backup, and Export. And from here, we can really just fill out all of the same settings. You know, the host name of the FTP server, username and password, the file name, admin state, we need to enable this, and then the schedule. We can be daily, weekly, or bi-weekly. And this allows us to not only do a full state backup with regularity, but we can come down here and get the all configuration backup policy as well, happening on a daily, weekly, or bi-weekly basis. When configuring backups in UCS Manager, we have 2 different options. First of all, we could just go out and do a one-time, download the configuration and store it somewhere, but realistically, we probably want to go over to that other tab and configure a weekly or maybe even a daily backup of the UCS Manager configuration. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.